just a side question that popped into my head, and this has nothing to do with political affiliation, but as an expert, would Donald Trump have won the presidency if not for Twitter?
It's an interesting question because I don't know the answer. I know that he is very popular on Twitter. He's also very unpopular on Twitter. What no one's been able to answer is how many of the people who got to know him during the race got to know him because of what he was tweeting, or simply got to know him because of the message that was there and that was in the underlying electorate. When, everyone wants to figure out what happened in that last election, and I'm one of them, and I'm not actually smart enough to know. What I will say is that the audience was ready for a character as president who was representing a lot of those views. Whether or not it was Twitter, I don't know. I do know that he is not necessarily using Twitter as effectively as president as he was as as somebody who's campaigning, and I'm sure they're looking into that, and I'm sure there's nothing they can do about that either.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. But of course, the basis of my question is the fact that he was able to circumvent the media, meaning that outlet that he had to whatever the amount of Twitter followers were at the time, 18 million, 20 million, whatever it is, that suddenly he had a way of thumbing up the media and saying, it's okay, I'll go directly.
Right. What we hear a lot is that the media is dead or shrunk. The one area where I'll disagree with that is he didn't circumvent the media. He understood how the media had changed and had gone directly to the audience. So when we talk about media, we talk about the traditional news media. That has become less and less important than their own audiences, who in many cases, and by the way, individual journalists within these journalism organizations have become more important than the organizations themselves. So insofar as what he did was found really an affinity network of people who had common beliefs and got them all together and created a good messaging strategy within them. That's not so much circumventing traditional media as it is beating media at its own game in trying to aggregate those audiences, and the check and balance on, when I started, even up to when I was first in television in 2007, there really wasn't a check on what we were doing except for other media. Like you would do something wrong, and then somebody in the other media would say that was wrong, or you'd have somebody call up and you would have to make a correction. Now, when you get something wrong, you know about it because you have 1 million people who are tweeting that you're wrong. That tells you that the audience's role in media is stronger than ever, and that's a huge opportunity to do what I think Trump did. And to the heart of your question, I think you're right. Whether you're a politician or you're a brand, you both have the opportunity to find the audience that you want, whether they're voters or customers, and figure out a way to go directly to them and bypass a lot of the opportunities within the media, or use media to complement that direct outreach that you have.
I love the honor of interviewing C-level executives and sharing their great advice and perspective on Mind Your Business. I'd love to get your feedback. Post it in the comments below and subscribe. You'll never miss an edition of Mind Your Business.